Foo Fighters. I'm the Foo.
Is that somebody? No, say it.
I'm changing my name to the
yo?
Foo.
What does that say? Watch later, turn off.
We get notifications of our own shit.
Okay.
All
Guess
right.
that makes sense. Alright, guys, we're back. I'm your boy D'Anthony. I'm my boy Adon. My boy C-Jack over here. Almost forgot his name again.
I'm changing my name to the Foo.
And I want to welcome you guys to the channel. We're live. We got our Facebook fans here. We got our YouTube fans here. Which we really care about the YouTube fans. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, that's mean. That's cold.
Breaks my heart.
I love all
We
of
care
you.
about all of you, okay? So, again, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hit that notification button if you guys like the material that we put out. You want to see some stuff that we do every single week, let us know. All right, so let's just get right into it. Did you guys another favor in my eyes anyway. And we went to go see American Assassin.
What?
Pew, pew,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we're gonna just jump right into it. What do you guys think? You give it a rating right now.
Give it a rating. It's gonna be a 3.5.
I'm all on the same line. It's 3.5.
And that's like a
Whoa.
5-star rule that
And
we
then,
got
like,
going.
Why?
And why?
Yes.
Why?
You guys
So-
forgot all.
Let me tell you why.
She said
You didn't let me
rating.
finish.
You
You
didn't-
didn't let me finish. So I feel like this is one of those, we're getting into the whole action movies with John Wick, the accountant, all these Bourne Identity type style movies. But now we got a newer guy. We got to get all these older guys out of the way and make way for these newer people. So I feel like that's what this movie is doing for us, and it's kind of doing for that Kingsman movie. It's what I would compare it to, at least. And this movie was good. I mean, as far as his character goes, I think that they didn't write it very good. It was almost like a test run movie, if they should probably make more or not. But I enjoyed it. Rewatch value is not very high. I would like to watch those other movies that I mentioned, Accountant and Kingsman. But it was good. I like the action.
What do you think?
It was a fun movie. I didn't walk out of there like, oh my god, I just watched the most amazing assassin movie in the world. Like I walked out of, I walked more out of Atomic Blonde feeling a little bit like this was still a fun movie. But I did like the movie. It was cool. I'm not gonna watch it again. I'm not gonna tell people to be like, hey, you need to go watch this right now. Like no, I'm good. Like but it wasn't bad. Like I mean, I actually really like the cast. That's what made the movie for me was the cast. So and there's a lot of quirks about them. So you're staying on. We're gonna go over a lot of quirks about the cast that I definitely would give some good recommendations for. But yeah, it's getting a 3.5 out of me. I still love John Wick more.
All right, so for me, it's gonna get a 1.5 out of 5 stars.
AKA a kick in the nuts, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
I liked the first act. The first act was really good. I thought they did a really good job introducing us to this character, introducing us to the actual motive. But the second and third act, especially the third act, was just so terrible for me. It was so predictable. Some stupid stuff was just going on. And I'm like, who wrote the second part of this movie? Because there's no way it was the same person. But I just didn't. I would find myself like irritated out of a lot of scenes. Actually, I was not pleased. I mean, the fight scenes were cool. There were some good fight scenes, some MMA stuff going on, and there was some gory stuff going on. People getting stabbed and sliced and arms being broken. Y'all know I love that. But I'm not watching an MMA match. I'm watching a movie.
And you weren't laughing that much.
The story.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like I didn't hear him laugh very much. I was like,
some of it was like, oh, it was a little. I guess maybe I'm squeamish sometimes. I guess.
What you?
So, but overall, as far as the story and the story arc and the character development, there was absolutely nothing there for me. So it has zero rewatch value for me, and I would just say go ahead and skip that. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and see that movie.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Some people float in this one.
They definitely do. So we got Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
We got Sanaa Lathan. We got Dylan O'Brien and Taylor Kirsch.
Whatever.
Kitsch. Kitsch. So
Shiva Nagar.
Yeah.
Samsonite.
And then I guess we could say Shiva Nagar too. Is that what you just said? I thought you just like said like some crazy stuff.
I'm speaking different languages. Shiva Nagar.
Sounds legit.
Everyone else is pretty, replaceable. But I mean, man, I don't want to. I'm gonna just bash it, okay? This is not. There are some good things about the movie, I will say. Like I said, the fighting was good. Even
cool.
I guess the locations were really good. It seemed, authentic where they were.
Right.
But there's no character development for me. Honestly, I thought Sanaa Lathan didn't really fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when I see a black woman working in Hollywood. But I didn't think she really fit there. You know what? She wasn't commanding enough. Yeah. She was like the leader, but no one respected her.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, that's just kind of killing it for me.
Yeah.
I know you guys like Michael Keaton.
Love Michael Keaton in this movie. I can do a lot more with Michael Keaton. I'm loving that he's just doing a lot more movies nowadays.
Yeah, I missed him a lot. I'm glad to see him back.
Yeah, and you know what? He still's got his moves going for him because he was putting on pretty cool moves, and it wasn't a lot. It was like Liam Neeson style moves, where it's just like.
But we also get that. We also get that crazy Michael Keaton back, like that moment of Michael Keaton where he's like, remember the original Batman movie where he's like, you want to get nuts? Yeah. Let's get nuts. Yeah. And I got a little bit of that in that movie, and I'm like, oh, I miss it so much. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and I thought that part was corny. It didn't really, to me, his emotions didn't reflect the situation. It could be funny. I would agree.
Yeah.
But that's not a funny moment.
When you're being tortured.
It was a little corny for me. But I get why you guys laughed. They did laugh at that part, you know.
I felt it when he started getting his nails pulled. That's the one thing I hate in any movie. It doesn't matter. Scary movie, that's the one thing I cringe at every single time. When you see the movie and they're scratching the floor and their nails come off, no, I'm done. That hurt every.
It does, and then that was why I wasn't laughing, because I was like, oh, yeah. So there were some good parts. He just kind of fell off a little bit. He wasn't as tough when he was doing that, that whole scene. But, and not that he has to be tough, but I mean, it just didn't reflect the actual situation for me, anyway.
Right.
I would have been kind of yelling a little louder, but that's just me. So, how does it compare to other assassin movies or spy movies? For me, it's below a lot of them. Definitely, it's nowhere near John Wick at all, or the Accountant. What did you guys think?
Yeah, no, I think it's for me, it's gonna be second to last place. And that bottom of the barrel is because...
Second to last? Who's last?
For me, it's Atomic Blonde. Just because the story, it was easier to follow for this one. I found myself dozing off in Atomic Blonde. It was just a little bit too much for me.
Disagree with you. No.
This one, it was just an easier watch. You just turn off your, whatever, meter, and then just have fun. Just have fun with this movie. It's going to be an action movie, and it's pretty cool. So I mean everything else.
The fight scenes weren't as good as Atomic Blonde,
or John Wick. John Wick for me is the standard, because they filmed Keanu actually busting out these moves in one shot, and this one, I mean, it just wasn't like that.
What would you say?
It didn't blow my mind. It really didn't. There was the thing that comes down to characters for me. I remember, I was telling these guys after I walked out of the theater, I remember the name John Wick. I remember Atomic Blonde. I remember The Accountant. I remember these characters because they really built them off of some type of gag. You have your protagonist who has nothing to him outside of the fact he's a rebellious character. And the actor did a good job. Every actor in here did a good job, but the story was just lacking luster again. And so that was the hard part to kind of cope with, because I love characters. But here you are putting characters in this world that just doesn't really do anything for me. So it's kind of sad. And then you have your antagonist, which is, Tyler Kirsch's character. He plays a character named Ronnie. And it's just he does do the villain complex fairly well, because, he just handles business. He just, literally, he notices something. Okay, you're going to die. He makes the decision. And I like that about his character, because he just did it. There's no questions. There's no wait time. He just did it. But at the end... he lost his because emotions got in there, and then you get thicker. But it just according to the other movies,
nothing personal. It's
it's business.
It's business time.
But you know, I have to go back to John Wick. I actually like the Atomic Blonde a lot more than this movie. Just because I loved seeing Charlize Theron kick ass the way she did. Like, I'm sorry.
So much ass.
I will watch that movie over just to watch her do some of those fight scenes. I will be willing to watch it again and again.
So great.
It was wonderful. But this one, just I didn't have moments of like, oh, I want to go back and watch that scene. Like, I didn't have that at all.
No, at all. I think if I had to say it was like second to last is going to be that Bourne movie that came out last year.
Well, that was last year.
And then this is right on top of that.
Yeah, no. I mean, Bourne, that's like...
So... That's what I would really compare it to. I mean, yeah, the actors did a great job. We're not trying to say the acting was bad. The writing was bad, though.
Writing, yeah.
Character development was just not there.
Putting them into that.
But the acting, sure, it was great. Fight scenes, I did have some fun. It wasn't like anything that I've never seen before.
Right.
But it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to give it that 1.5. It really bothered me. Every single thing that happened. I don't want to give too many spoilers. I know you're probably like, well, what happened? But it just was like, oh my God, are you serious? So I had to do that. So what about? We already talked about the fight scene. So how was the story believable to you guys? Because I wasn't buying it. I'm not buying it.
So I mean, basically the whole premise, and they show you in the trailers, is like he's on a beach and like gets married or whatnot, and he and his wife are victims of like a terrorist attack, and pretty much she dies, and he rebels and tries to get revenge on these people that did this.
Rebels.
So, you know, him being a normal citizen, just like me, you know, it's like, I'm gonna go get revenge on all these guys. So he just pretty much up and turned into Batman.
Okay, well, what'd you think about the story?
It's not believable. It's like, it's like taking Batman and putting him into like a real world scenario almost.
He looked like Spider-Man sometimes. He was hopping up on the windowsill.
They didn't show him hopping on the window. He was just there. You know?
I was like, what the heck?
1 minute he's there and he's like I said action! Oh, shit! It's like, I'm here. I remember.
What about you? Do you think the story was believable?
The story, it was simple to me. It didn't really do, like, it was just a simple story. It was you know, the trigger happens, creating this person to develop these desires to get revenge.
Yeah.
And then he gets opted out of his revenge. He gets, you know, taken in by the government, and he gets put in this position where he gets to come up on top of the world and you know, do something that, you know, everyone, you know, knew he can do. And
you think it's predictable because it's simple?
It was just it was too simple. We've seen it too many times, but they didn't do it in a different way. That's what killed it. Because so many stories do that same thing, but they do it in a different way.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing, is you didn't make it memorable for me why he was so angry. You killed his fiance right in front of him, but at the same time, it wasn't in a way where I was like, oh no, like no, like I didn't do that. I didn't feel like that. I just felt like it sucked, but I didn't feel like it just wasn't enough for me. Like, you know what movie did it better actually? That did it very, very similar to this was that first the remake of The Punisher. And that's they did that so much better. It was the same thing. Beach scene, people dying,
right?
And it was just brutal. Like you remembered that.
Oh yeah.
And
the whole way through, I remember that.
And so like it just, you know, I have to compare it to that scene, and just I'm sorry, it just didn't do it for me. And as the story went on, there were some things that happened that I didn't think, but it still was just not. Oh my God!
Did it do it for you?
It was super predictable for me. Like you said, they didn't do anything that was different. There was no real twist. There was no character development. And so even if I knew what the story was going to be like, I can at least enjoy someone that has some type of growth. And he was just the brat the whole time. He didn't want to listen to any orders. No, any orders that he was given, he was not listening to. He definitely was a dick. And he was a brat. And I thought that, to me, you should, you know, eventually grow up. Now, yes, there was a short time frame. It wasn't like they were over a month span of time or whatnot.
18 months.
But it's a lot going on. I need you to get with it and get with the program. And he just never did, all the way up to the very end. It wasn't believable for me. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what, honestly, this movie probably shouldn't have been the part one of the movie. Like, honestly, they could have probably had a lot more fun and more dynamic developing him not too long. Maybe dive in maybe a year after this happened and catch him developing into being, because I won't lie, this guy's a badass. He learned how to infiltrate. He learned everything he learned, built off the fire that was in him. And I would have liked to see all that development, and then get this movie as part 3, because we saw this part and we're like, oh my god! And then you make the shitty third movie and end it horribly. Which
that'd have been a way better movie. If we
could
could have seen him be a badass and kill off these cells that he was trying to get, and then at the end he gets cornered and then gets helped by the CIA.
Yeah.
Bam! That's movie 1.
You could have.
You're welcome.
You could have played off that. You could have played off that and had much more fun, because the thing is too is us as average Joes seeing some average Joe himself become something like that. I'd be like, oh hey, that's how you do that. Like taking notes in the. It gives us something to kind of, we actually feel more like the character. We feel more like the character in the movie. And I think that's another thing you were missing, was that driving utensil.
Right.
All right, so who's your favorite character?
Michael Keaton! Michael Keaton!
Batman? Well, this is Batman, Superman, but Michael Keaton, for sure.
I didn't really have one, but I knew you guys would. I mean, I liked the protagonist, Dylan O'Brien. Mm-hmm. I thought that his motivation was good. I thought his acting was really great. I liked his intensity, but it was just the thing that they made him do. It just wasn't believable. And then, like I said, Sanaa Lathan, she just didn't seem to fit. She seemed like the authoritative figure, and then she just wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, even her subordinates not listening to her. The people above her don't respect what she got to say. It was just really bad to me. Yeah. I didn't really have any favorites. Everyone can really just.
We see some comments coming
through.
Sorry,
guys. I saw the comments. A comment on the video, so we can reply to them, because we got this little screen. We're trying to read while we're doing it. So comment.
We appreciate you guys either way.
Yeah, definitely. I want to get to your answer. Sorry.
So should they make more? Let's wrap this up. Should they be making more? No, you guys are too slow. No, they should not be making more.
Quick draw. No.
They made the part 3 right now. I'm not looking forward to anything more, unless they're gonna cross in with John Wick and John Wick shoots him.
No, I know, right? Yeah, I mean the counterpart is Kingsman for me. It's like this movie compared to this movie. We both got similar styles of people that are both rebels. Rebels don't fit in, misfits, and clean them up and send them on their merry way to be a spy academy.
He at least grew up to be something better than what he was when he first started. That's the thing. You can start off as a brat, fine, I get it. Right. You're not used to this type of scenario. You're gonna be rebel a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is a team. You guys there's a goal. You need to get in line and grow, or at least maybe change someone else's mind. Mm-hmm. And he just never really did any of that.
No.
So I'm gonna say no. We don't need to be making any more.
I think this was a one-hitter quitter, really. I don't see any motive for them to make any more. I can't imagine that it's going to, blow out the blockbuster.
No. The Rotten Tomatoes score is 36 and 71%. So critics gave it 36, which is about where I am. Do you guys think that's a deserving score?
Yeah, I think I was at 3.5. So, yeah, I feel that.
7?
Yeah. It's about something.
So... if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores, you guys actually care about that? We would say yes. 1.5, 36%, same thing.
What are you saying? Just on FYI, little point to the... I can't read it. Sorry, guys. We'll read it later.
Yeah. So that's the review, guys. Let us know what you guys thought. Do you guys think that, if you did see it, that this is the type of movie you want to see? Or if you really think that... has the trend been that the spy movies have been kind of going downhill, minus our John Wicks and maybe our
007? That was
downhill.
minus.
Right. So let us know what you guys think, guys. That's our review. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And hit that notification button, okay? Love you.
Thank you guys. Okay.
All right, I'm your boy DeAnthony.
I'm done.
I see Jack.
We're out, baby.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Comment on the video so we can reply to you. And any advice. I saw that there was some stuff up there, so get it to us.
Thank you.